Good afternoon, everybody. Brian Neubert here from goldenblack.com, live in downtown Providence. Probably my strangest location yet for a goldenblack.com post-game rap video. This is brought to you by our friends at the Purdue Club Hotel, who I have looked up and down for all throughout downtown Providence, and I have not found their location here quite yet. But I am sitting here outside Amica Mutual Pavilion, I believe is how it's pronounced, following Purdue's 75-63 NCAA tournament win over High Point. It's cold out here. I think it might be starting to snow. But what happened was Kansas needs the floor in there for its shoot-around. And despite the strongly worded letter I wrote to the NCAA and to the University of Kansas about me requiring the court to do my post-game rap video after Purdue played High Point, asking them to keep the court clear between sessions, no one responded to me. I don't really understand why. It didn't seem like too much to ask. Nevertheless, here I am, cast outside into the cold Rhode Island night to do this rap video. So Purdue beats High Point 75-63. I think it was, once both teams settled into the game in the first 10 minutes, I think it was pretty evident how this was going to turn out. Purdue recaptured its defensive energy, its defensive detail-orientedness that, had sort of come and gone the last couple weeks to close the regular season and into the start of the postseason, meaning the Big Ten tournament. And I think Purdue deserves a lot of credit for that, for rising to the occasion. And not only finding it, but sustaining it over 40 minutes. I think that it was evident I'm using the word evident a lot today, but it was clear, right? It was observable pretty early in the game that High Point wanted no part of Purdue's half-court defense, which is precisely what people have been wanting for the last couple weeks as Purdue has sort of slipped up defensively a little bit. Purdue was really good on the ball, I thought. I thought they put a lot of pressure on High Point's guards. I thought Purdue was pretty quick to its spots, just on top of things, on top of its old P's and Q's, as we say. And did everything with a purpose, did everything with a suddenness and a preparedness and things like that. It was really exactly what you needed to see from this Purdue team to believe that they could do something in this postseason. That and the rebounding part of it was basically the game. For Purdue to just clobber these guys on the boards and not only turn High Point's strength, at least in its league, into a weakness, but for Purdue to make it its own strength. Purdue gets 19 offensive rebounds, gets 20-some points off it. People have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm getting the funniest looks here, and it's understandable. I don't know what I'm doing either. Anyway, for Purdue to turn rebounding into a glaring concern against this particular matchup, High Point's got a lot of length, a lot of relative athleticism, and a lot of activity among all these interchangeable guys who, I'll be honest, I didn't bother to learn a lot of their names, as I typically don't with these first-round games. But they got a lot of the same guy. And they're all long, they're all athletic, and you got to keep them all off the offensive glass. The big kid, Bodo Juslin, I don't want to pronounce his name because I don't want to mispronounce it. We'll just call him the 7-footer. The big kid, it was pretty clear, pretty evident, pretty observable right away that High Point was going to put him on Caleb first and not guard Caleb first, which is not the first time that's happened this season. And as soon as it was clear that Camden Heidi was going to play the rest of the way, and now that he's making threes especially, that made that really hard for them to do. I think that was a really important piece of this game. Camden Heidi, if he's had a better game in his Purdue career in context than this one, I know he scored more points, I know he's done this or that more than he did today. But if he had a bigger impact on a Purdue win in his career prior to today, I'll be damned if I know what that game was. Because you could make a case for him as the player of the game. He got 11 points, 10 rebounds, made his threes, changed the balance of the floor for Purdue. Situationally, really rose to the occasion as a rebounder, and that is such a huge part of what Purdue has to do to be successful, that you almost 10 rebounds is almost equivalent to like 20 because of the importance of it. And he was just really good on the glass again, like he was against, I think, UCLA maybe. And, you know, it's not just him out jumping people. It's not just him being quicker and more athletic than people. He is becoming a legitimately complete rebounder. He's big and strong, more so than people, I think, realize. And he is just playing really hard, playing with great energy, playing strong, playing physical, and playing more athletic than other people. And it really showed up on the glass in this game. I thought it was kind of funny when Miles Colvin dunked Camden Heidi's offensive or miss, and then Heidi returned the favor by playing with great energy in the open floor, trailing Miles Colvin on a turnover, and then dunking his putback. So they kind of traded, they kind of exchanged putback dunks there, which was kind of humorous, but also a huge stretch in this game. Just the offensive glass was the difference in this game. You know, they ruled Wilberg's bucket at the buzzer a putback, but having rewatched that real time, that was a pass. And I can get into the science of what made that play happen. It'll be boring, but basically Braden Smith forced them by reaching a certain point on the floor off the dribble into their five-man switch rules, and that then rotated Wilberg onto a guard. Whoever was guarding Braden Smith then had to switch on to Wilberg. Wilberg got a bucket off of that earlier, and they were doing the same thing. And Braden Smith just threw that ball up to Wilberg, and it paid off. And to Wilberg's credit, guy barely plays. He's played like 30 minutes in 23 games or something like that. I think one of my colleagues looked up, and he comes in, he's ready to play, and he legitimately helped Purdue win this game. And you can't give him enough credit for that. You know, things haven't gone for him probably the way he envisioned early in the season, but he's always ready to go in there and help. And Purdue has needed him. Matt Painter, again, had to tap dance around 2 early fouls for Trey Kaufman-Moran. Did it masterfully. That was a big stretch in the game late in the first half when Purdue opened it up a little bit going into halftime. But then holding High Point off in the second half was obviously what got this one done. And it really started with that funny step-back jumper Trey Kaufman-Moran made out of the post that I forgot about after the game. But that started Purdue getting from a place where they're only up like 2 or 3 and anything can happen to pushing it right back out to 10 and then having to just make free throws to end the game. Big time shot by Trey Kaufman-Moran with the shot clock dwindling. Just a great player, man. Just a clutch player. Just a super effective player. As good of an offensive player as Purdue has had among its lineage of front court scorers. And just a terrific player. And, you know, he waited his turn for moments like this. And kudos to him for being patient like that. A lot of guys wouldn't anymore. But it also helps when you have Braden Smith as your point guard. You know, Braden Smith, again, had this game on a string and really, really attacked size very effectively. The big kid, Bodo Juslin, I think his name is. See how cold it is out here? You can see my breath. You know, Braden Smith really attacked him in ball screens, got him to turn his back, and then hit Trey Kaufman-Moran coming in behind him. Just absolute control of this game once again from Braden Smith. And it's what you've come to expect. And don't take it for granted, because very rarely do you see guards at the college level with that sort of second and third level knowledge and mastery of the game that Braden Smith has. Just a tremendous player, obviously, and the combination of him and Trey Kaufman-Moran, a huge part of the reason Purdue's moving on to tomorrow. To have press conferences, that is, tomorrow. And then to play McNeese State, of all teams, on Saturday. The Fighting Strong-Ass Offers of McNeese State, as Will Wade rounds out his days at McNeese State on his way to NC State. So Purdue beat NC State last year, and they'll have a chance to beat NC State's next coach this year. So that's what I got. I got to get inside before it starts raining on this computer. This is Brian Neubert from goldandblack.com following Purdue's 75-63 win over High Point here in Providence. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. And thank you for processing our materials, however overwhelmed by crowds those materials may be. And thank you to the Premium Club Hotel once again for your support. As always, we appreciate it. Thanks, guys.